Hey, I'm Mark, the head of growth here at Dunk Agency, and in today's video, I'm going to be taking you through how we use marketing calendars to effectively scale 6, 7, and 8-figure e-commerce brands, and why a lot of brands overlook how effective a simple marketing calendar can be to help them buy back their time. So the main three things that I believe marketing calendars are so important for is team alignment, which we'll go through, revenue and demand planning, and then lastly, just a cohesive marketing mix to make sure the messaging is being communicated across all the different sales channels. So this is what the marketing calendar that we give out to all the brands that we work with for free that they can use. And we help them, plan this out every 6 to 8 weeks. Some brands, depending on the size, even 90 days, to make sure that we are looking forward enough in advance and being able to have appropriate time to plan. Now, the first and most important thing that I believe marketing calendars are useful for, if you haven't already started using one, is team alignment. A lot of brands, when they're starting out, are run solo by the founder. And that founder has all the information in their mind, and it's easy for them because they can just go back into their mind and say, hey, I was going to launch that at 7 p.m. in 2 weeks, and that's completely fine. Now, as they start to bring on a external agency, or maybe it's an internal teammate, what happens is that information doesn't actually get solidified or put down anywhere. So that internal teammate or the external agency has no way of accessing that information without constantly having to ask the founder. Now, if anyone knows, it can be quite disruptive to have someone constantly ask you, which is no fault to them. It's actually your fault for not putting that down somewhere to help align them and your team to be able to know without having to communicate to you when certain events are going to be planned. So the main thing is team alignment. We want to make sure, and I've just put in this dummy sale here to give you an example of how we would use this marketing calendar. But let's just say that you're the brand founder and you want to run a 30% off site-wide sale. What you would do, and in this document we have 6 main channels, which is your holidays and events, key dates, activations and promotions, paid marketing, organic marketing, and then your email and SMS. Now, what we do for team alignment is when you want to run a 30% off site-wide sale, the way that we help the brands that we work with is we can then put in what we believe we need to do to help them effectively achieve a great 30% off site-wide sale. So we would say that, hey, the meta ads are going to go live at 6 a.m. We're going to turn them off here. We might run this free gift over $100, and we're going to create certain assets for that we can run for that 24-hour period. And then the same with how we help brands with email and SMS. We would actually map out what emails we're going to send and what the messaging of that email is actually going to be. And then the last thing that we do is we can add any assets to this document so that the brand founder or marketing manager can go in simply, click on that email, so whether it's the send free gift email, and approve that email in this one document where everyone else that's working to grow the business is going to be inserting their information into. So that's how this marketing calendar is going to help with team alignment. If you're someone that struggles with not giving your teammates or your external agencies some of the freedom to work without them having to ask or bother you, if that may be the case, this is definitely going to solve a lot of your problems. Now, the second thing is revenue and demand planning. What we see a lot, especially working with big brands, is they want to achieve growth year on year. And where they might run into problems is, let's just say, for example, in June of 2024, a brand hit $100,000 in revenue. And they go, this year, I want to achieve $110,000 in revenue. What they see in their Shopify dashboard is just the sales amount that says 100K. They don't actually see the activations and events that occurred to help them achieve that outcome. So this year, if they say I want to hit $110,000 in revenue, if they do not have the appropriate activations and events in their marketing calendar to achieve that outcome, they're failing to plan accordingly, and they're simply not going to achieve that unless they have some super effective paid ads funnel that goes off in that desired month. And a really great example that I always use is like, imagine if in June you had an end of financial year sale and you hit the 100K, and then this year you say, hey, I want to hit 110K, but I don't want to run the end of financial year sale. You're probably not going to achieve that desired outcome. So that is the second way that we use this, is for revenue and demand planning. We can forecast how much stock we're going to need, how many sales we're going to do, how we're going to achieve the desired outcomes based on what we actually put in that marketing calendar. And lastly, the cohesive marketing mix. So a big thing, typically what happens when you're scaling your e-commerce brand, you go from 20 to 50K, 50 to 100K. You're generally reliant on maybe 1 to 2 sales channels. So you might run some paid marketing, whether that's Meta ads, Google ads, TikTok, and maybe you send off an email here and there. As your business starts to go from 100 to 200, from 200 to 500, from 500K to $1 million, what you want to achieve to have a more effective marketing mix is simple cohesion across the messaging that you're trying to communicate from a brand level to the different channels that you have. And what that might look like is a perfect example here. We've got this 30% off site-wide sale that we want to run on the 6th of January. Now, what I want to do is at 6 a.m., I want to make sure that the Meta and Google ads are going live for that sale with the exact same messaging. So maybe the sale is titled the summer sale. I'm going to have summer sale in my copy, in my Google ad copy, in my creatives, and so on. Now, on my IG story on Instagram, I want to announce that the summer sale is now live and use the exact same theme and branding that I'm going to be using across my website and across my paid ads. Now, I'm going to do the exact same thing in my email announcement, campaign, which is going to communicate the summer sale, that it's 30% off, and have the same theme and branding to make sure that if I'm a consumer, no matter which journey that I take to get to that end conversion, I'm seeing the exact same messaging. And this is something, especially coming into Black Friday, you want to make sure you really nail, which is a cohesion across all these different sale events across the different channels. Now, I'm just using this site-wide sale as an example because it's really easy. A lot of brands do them, which is sales. But you could do this for, a summer collection drop. Maybe you have a 5K community run. Maybe it's Australia Day. Maybe it is for Valentine's Day. Whatever the event might be that you have planned, you can use that to make sure that your messaging across whatever channel that you want to use is the same, and there's no disconnect for the consumer where they might have to question whether it's the exact same brand that they saw earlier running the sale, which is not what we want. So if you're an e-commerce brand founder and you want this marketing mix, all you have to do is, it should be linked somewhere in the comments section-ish below. You can get it, you can make a free copy, and you can start using that into your business. And what I'm also going to be doing is making a second video on how we tie this marketing calendar to the financial outcomes of the business and making sure that it aligns with the media spend that we use across the different channels. So if you like this video, please leave a comment somewhere in the comment section below, and I'll be producing more of these videos in 2025. So I hope you guys get some good information and useful tools that you can implement into your e-commerce business today.